Hello guys, my name is Rahmat Mumtaz. These are some important topics from 11th, 12th and 13th Jan 2020. Let us see this first topic. RBI chalks out financial inclusion strategy for 2024. Now what is this strategy? It is National Strategy for Financial Inclusion NSFI for 5 years starting from 2019 to 2024. The objectives of the strategy are to provide banking access within every 5-kilometer radius of a village and in hilly areas with a population of with 500 households. That is to provide banking access in two places. One is near the plain surfaces for every 5 kilometers and in hilly areas with 500 households by March 2020. To provide financial services through a mobile phone. And all the citizens who are enrolled in Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, that is linking bank accounts with phone and Aadhaar card, will be enrolled under insurance schemes and pension schemes by March 2020. And with the help of the NSFI strategy, RBI wants to open a public credit registry (PCR), which is nothing but a register which contains information regarding credit. That is, who are the lenders, who are the borrowers. All the information related to credit will be mentioned in this PCR. Because we were falling short of good database regarding credit, which was leading to NBFCs. So guys, this National Financial Inclusion Strategy will become important with prelims point of view. They can give these provisions like about PCR, about bank openings, and so on. The main aim of this National Financial Inclusion Strategy is to create an environment, an ecosystem where digital financial services can be provided in Tier 2 to Tier 6 centers. Now what are these? These are centers divided based on population. That is nothing but in places which include a population of 5,000 to 1 lakh, so that India could move towards a less cash society by 2022. Let us move to the other topic. Transgender Persons Act comes into effect. Guys, this Transgender Persons Bill was passed by the Parliament in December 2019. So now this Transgender Persons Act for the protection of rights of transgenders came into effect under the Ministry of Social Justice. This law becomes important for both prelims and mains. Let us see the provisions. This act defines a transgender person in detail. That is, who a transgender person is. Nothing but a person whose gender doesn't match with the gender assigned at the birth. It prohibits the discrimination against the transgender people with respect to education, healthcare, employment. When it comes to employment, nobody can deny employment or jobs to them, whether it is a private company or a public sector company. They have all the right to move to any place and to reside in any place. They can hire a house for rent. They can also have a property. They have all the right to hold public or private offices. That means they can contest for MLAs, MPs, PM, President, for all those posts. They have to take a certificate of identity from the district magistrate, and all the welfare measures will be taken by the central government for the transgender minority, like the central government's schemes, cultural activities, awareness generation, and any kind of discrimination against the transgender minority will be considered as a crime and will lead to penalties. And a separate National Council for Transgender Persons is also created under the Ministry of Social Justice. And this council constitutes the Union Minister for Social Justice, the State Minister for Social Justice, and the Secretary of the Ministry of Social Justice. And there will be one representative each from the Health Ministry, Home Affairs Ministry, Human Resource Development Ministry, and other members will also be there from Niti Aayog and National Human Rights Commission. And there will be 5 members from the transgender community and 5 members from different NGOs. And the mandate given to National Council of Transgenders include it has to advise the central government with respect to the matters related to transgender community, and it has to monitor the impact of all those policies, legislations and projects initiated by the central government, and it also has to redress the grievances of the transgender community. So now here the issue is, this act is criticized regarding the certificate issue. That means why the transgender community people have to take a certificate of identity from the district magistrate. Let us move on to the other topic. Villagers give up stone throwing ritual at Buddhist site. This topic becomes important with respect to art and culture. Let us see the Buddhist sites. Bojjannakonda and Lingalametta are twin Buddhist monasteries dating back to 3rd century BC. In prelims, it can directly mention these two sites and ask what is it. So the ritual was people used to throw stones at the belly of the Buddha in these sites with a belief that it was a symbol of demon. And one more important point in this topic is people from the Intact campaign made efforts to shed this ritual. Now let us see what is this campaign. It is nothing but Indian National Trust for Art and Culture Heritage. It was established in 1984 and now it is one of the world's largest heritage organizations. Presently, it is working towards a heritage legislation. It wants a law to be passed with respect to heritage. Here you can see the Buddhist sites. So here the Intact campaign becomes important and these two sites. Let us move on to the other topic. Union Minister inaugurates Hakan Hat at People's Plaza. Now here, what is this Hakan Hat? Hakan Hat is nothing but an exhibition of handicrafts and traditional products made by artisans from minority community. This Hakan Hat comes under Ministry of Minority Affairs, which includes Ustad scheme, under which Hakan Hat comes. Now what is this Ustad scheme? It is nothing but upgrading the skills and training in traditional arts or crafts for development. And this Hakan Hat event is promoted by National Minorities Development and Finance Corporation. It will provide financial support to people involved in Hakan Hat. And Ministry of Minority Affairs is planning to organize more than 100 Hakan Hats. That means more than 100 exhibitions in the coming 5 years. Let us see what will be the benefits of this Hakan Hat. It will increase the employment opportunities to all those related to handicrafts, artisans, culinary experts. It will also increase the market exposure of Indian handicrafts and handlooms. It will increase our handicrafts export. Indian handicrafts exports are increased by 9% in 2019. So with the help of this Hakan Hat, we can export many more handicrafts and handloom products, which will increase our exports further. And this time we are also going to export the art and culture related products or handicraft products to China also. Only USA and European Union together constitutes 65% of handicrafts exports from India. And from this year 2020, we are going to export handicraft products to China also. It will also benefit many women artisans involved in small handicraft works. And in the Hakan Hat event, people can open different stalls of different handicrafts. They can also put stalls of food items. So different Indian delicacies, different food, different cuisines can be marketed and Indian work can be promoted. So guys, this was Hakan Hat, which is under Ministry of Minority Affairs, which falls under Ustad scheme and which is aiming to organize more than 100 Hakan Hats in the coming 5 years. Moving on to the next topic. Pongal spells peril for Salem's foxes. Guys, in the recent years, we have seen issues related to Jallikattu. People also went to Supreme Court to continue this event of Jallikattu, which is nothing but a bullfight organized in South India. Similarly, we have a festival called as Vanganari, which is celebrated in Tamil Nadu, where foxes are made to fight against each other. Before the event, their hands, legs and their mouths are tied, like you can see in the picture. And on the final day or the 4th day of Kanam Pongal, they celebrate this festival. And after the race, the foxes are released in the forest. They celebrate this festival of fox fight with a belief that it will bring bountiful rain and good fortune. But there are many people which are fighting against this Vanganari, and these foxes, they also fall under the protected species mentioned under Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So let us see what will be the result of this Vanganari festival. Let us move on to the other topic. Why are bushfires raging in Australia? Guys, we all know that in Australia, there was huge bushfires, forest fires due to drought conditions, which led to approximately a billion animals were burnt, 27 people were killed, thousands were moved from the fire area and so on. And firefighters from different countries were called who were using different techniques to stop the bushfires. But this article explains the reason behind the Australian bushfires, and the reason is Indian Ocean Dipole. Now we will see what is this Indian Ocean Dipole. Guys, this is our India and this is Indian Ocean. If we divide the Indian Ocean in two halves, the one half will be Western Indian Ocean and the other half will be Eastern Indian Ocean. And this division of Indian Ocean is nothing but Indian Ocean dipole. Di is nothing but two. So this becomes Indian Ocean dipole. This concept of Indian Ocean dipole has 2 points in it. That is positive Indian Ocean dipole and negative Indian Ocean dipole. Let us see what is this positive Indian Ocean dipole. Guys, this is our India. We all know this is equator and this is Indian Ocean. In Indian Ocean, we have Western Indian Ocean and Eastern Indian Ocean. Two halves. Indian Ocean is divided into two halves. So in positive Indian Ocean dipole, what happens is the Western Indian Ocean will be warmer than the Eastern Indian Ocean. So what happens if this is warmer? That means it will be high temperature. High temperature is nothing but what? Low pressure. Low pressure leads to rising air and rising air will lead to heavy rainfall in this Western Indian Ocean region. So this air will rise like this and again it will fall down. It will descend. So it forms a cycle here like this. And East Indian Ocean will be colder. Cold means what? Low temperature. Low temperature means high pressure. High pressure means there will be descending air. Descending air means less disturbance. That means less rainfall. In positive Indian Ocean dipole, the Western Indian Ocean will see heavy rainfall in these areas. That is in India, in Africa, in surrounding Africa, Arabian Peninsula, and the Eastern Indian Ocean will see less rainfall. That is the places Australia and all will face less rainfall. Similarly, we have negative Indian Ocean dipole where the Eastern Indian Ocean will be warmer when compared to the Western Indian Ocean. And the same phenomena again starts. Warmer means high temperature. High temperature means low pressure. Low pressure means rising air. And this rising air will lead to heavy rainfall in Eastern Indian Ocean region. Therefore, all the countries beside this region, Indonesian islands, Philippines, all these will get heavy rainfall. And here in the Western Indian Ocean, there will be less rain. So here the air is rising. So here the air will move in this direction. So here in this Western Indian Ocean, it will be descending air. That means it will be less rainfall in this region. So guys, we have seen positive Indian Ocean dipole and negative Indian Ocean dipole. You can see here in this picture in the Indian Ocean, the Western Indian Ocean, this part is warmer when compared to the Eastern Indian Ocean, which is cooler. So now in this positive Indian Ocean dipole, the air will rise here from the Western Indian Ocean and it will move like this and comes down in the Eastern Indian Ocean, and this cycle continues. So therefore, here in this region there will be heavy rainfall and here there will be no rainfall. Similarly, this cycle will be inversed in negative Indian Ocean dipole and there will be huge rainfall in Australia and Eastern Indian Ocean regions and no rainfall in these areas. So now here what happened is in Australia, or directly if we take India, this positive Indian Ocean dipole continued for a very longer time. That means this positive Indian Ocean dipole withdrew in October instead of September. That means rainfall for one more month. That means a surplus rain of 10%. So we have the western region here and the eastern region here. Positive Indian Ocean dipole leads to rainfall in this region. So it took a longer time to withdraw from this region. Therefore, one more month of dryness in this region of Australia and the Eastern Indian Ocean regions. Therefore, a delay of monsoon in Australia, which led to dryness and which led to drought, and that drought led to bushfires. Earlier, Australia was already facing very low rainfall and severe dryness, which was accompanied by this positive Indian Ocean dipole late withdrawal. So now this issue becomes very important with respect to prelims, where they can directly ask you what is the reason of the Australian fire which we saw in recent days. What was the reason? They will give you the options like the late withdrawal of positive Indian Ocean dipole, or the late onset of monsoon in Australia, or late onset of monsoon in East Indian Ocean, or due to delay in the Indian Ocean dipole breakdown, or none of the above. But the answer is all of these are right. They can give any one of them, or they can give all the options. So now let us move on to the other topic. Guys, these are 5 topics which I have clubbed, which we were seeing in the earlier videos also. It is the tussle between US and Iran. Guys, we have seen that US assassinated Iran's military commander Qasem Soleimani, after which Iraq's parliament have passed a resolution to remove the US troops present in Iraq. There are around 5,000 US troops present in Iraq who were called by the Iraqi government to fight against the IS, against the Islamic State. But now Iraq want to send these US troops back to USA. And when Iraq passed this resolution, USA have warned Iraq by sanctions. It said that USA will impose sanctions on Iraq if it will forcefully send the US troops back to USA. And what happened between US and Iran? When USA killed Qasem Soleimani, Iran retaliated by attacking with 22 missiles, after which USA have replied that we want peace in the world and we will not retaliate back. But after the peace statement, USA have imposed sanctions on 8 topmost Iranian officials and 17 Iranian metal producers and companies. And they have directly said that they will hit the Iran's economy until Iran will not leave a thought of developing nuclear weapons. So after these sanctions imposed by Iran, there is one more thing which happened is while attacking USA, Iran was attacking with the help of missiles. So it has mistakenly shot down an aeroplane which was going to Ukraine. That means Iran have mistakenly, unintentionally have shot down a passenger plane consisting of 176 passengers. The plane got blasted and finally tensions began in West Asia further. The plane consisted of Iranians, Canadians and Ukraine people. So now the issue is Ukraine and Canada both are demanding justice against the unintentional missile attack of Iran. So therefore USA and Iran tensions led to this aviation disaster. Guys, this is not the first time that the war between two countries killed some innocent people. This already happened in 1988 during the Iran-Iraq war when US Navy warship, they have shot down an Iran flight which was going to Gulf, which killed around 290 passengers. Let us move on to the other topic. Libya talks will be held in Berlin. Merkel, rival Libya groups agree to ceasefire. Guys, we all know that Libya is facing conflict among its own different groups. Let us see the Libya issue in simple terms. Who are the players in Libya? Let us see that. Guys, this is Libya map. We can see Libya has different tribes. So these different tribes, they have their own military forces called as militias, like Tubu tribe, their militia, Tuareg tribes and the Islamic State group. Apart from these tribes, Libya also has a government of national accord, that is GNA. Libya was facing conflicts again and again. So what UN has done is it has mediated and have developed an interim government called as GNA with the Prime Minister Faiz al-Siraj in western Libya with the headquarters at Tripoli. So now this government of GNA is under United Nations Security Council. And the other faction in Libya is the Libyan National Army. This army is working from many centuries, but this time it was set by the government of national accord. This Libyan National Army consists of different forces like the ground force, air force, navy, like we have our Indian armed forces. And this is headed by General Khalifa Haftar and its headquarters is at Eastern Libya. Guys, now the problem is Eastern Libya is under this LNA and they want to capture the Western Libya, which is under the UNSC, under the Government of National Accord. They want to capture what? Western Libya with the capital at Tripoli. We can see the map here, guys. This blue area is representing LNA. And this yellow area, it is showing the GNA part, that is Government of National Accord. And this government is of international importance. That means this government is accepted by different countries. That means this government is accepted internationally. And now the problem is this Libyan National Army, it wants to capture this part. So presently out of these three forces, these three factions in Libya, the tussle is going on between LNA and GNA. So to end the conflict, Turkey and Russia came forward to mediate. Guys, we can understand that why Turkey have come forward to resolve the issue, but why Russia has come forward? So the answer is Russia wants to develop a gas pipeline called as Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, which will connect Russia to Europe but without Ukraine. You can see here this is from Russia, this Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline to Germany, and many sanctions are imposed on this gas pipeline. So that is the reason that Russia came forward to resolve the issue. So the representatives from Turkey, Russia and Libya met in Berlin, Germany, and all the rival groups, who were the rival groups? GNA and LNA, they agreed to a ceasefire. That is, no more fighting. So the peace talks came out successfully and they agreed on a ceasefire. So this was the Libya issue. Next time when Libya topic will come, we can understand much better. Okay guys, this was it for today. Meet you in the next video with some more important topics. Hope this video will be useful. Thank you.